All right, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to Lipstick Radio's Sound Booth. We've been doing a lot of sound booths lately, and I just had to reach out to my girl, Miss Blue, and get her in the sound booth so we can talk about, her career, her music. For those lipstick radio lovers like you real true troopers, then you know she's been in our rotation for a year. It's been a while. So welcome, Miss Blue. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing wonderful. Ms. Blue is coming to us from Houston. I used to live in Houston. I love Houston. Hey, Houston. So, Miss Thing, you have to tell us, first of all, let me just say, a lot of people really, really love your music. You know how I always tweet out what's playing and things, and I see a lot of comments. Sometimes, people aren't used to, like, that's why I put your Twitter names in when I'm saying who's playing, so they can tag you too, but sometimes they forget, but they'll tag me. And I'm like, yeah. So you got a lot of great feedback over like this last year on both of those songs, because we play, I think it was Do It and Payback.
Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, before we get into all the songs and the motivations behind those two songs, tell us how you got started in music, period. Did you have like a family member or someone you looked up to that got you into it? How did you start and who influenced you?
It's crazy, but I didn't really have much of an influence around me growing up with the music. I kind of escaped or used it as an escape passage because I was going through a lot of things as a child, and I just would used to write. Nobody knew what I was doing, and I just wrote songs all day and wrote raps. And so one day my parents wanted to know why I didn't have paper, and they looked and like, "You're writing? What are What are you doing?" But I think it really came from a lot of pain that I seen and just some of the things I was experiencing as a child growing up.
Oh, wow. I can totally relate to that because I think a lot of us, and I'm very open with my past, and I think a lot of people can relate to, those childhood. Unfortunately, some people, bless their heart, they had wonderful childhoods. Unfortunately, I was not one of them. And what I had was my music. I had my music. They didn't motivate me to do anything. I literally would close my door, and because see, I love to write, and I wrote out my thoughts, but I would close my door and have my own little pretend concert in there dancing like crazy. Oh, okay. So then if you didn't have family or anyone around you at that moment to influence you, then who was it in the industry that motivated you to go ahead and pick up that mic?
Okay, now this is when it gets good. No, what influenced is when I got in high school, they were freestyling, and there were no girls that rapped or anything really doing it big. So the guys would do the boom boxing on the table or with their mouths, and then I started freestyling. And I came across a guy named Beat King, who's, shout out to Beat King, he's doing really big things out here. And he was just like, we're looking for a female rapper, and I heard you can rap, so you're going to be down on way. And I was like, what? So I went and I did an interview, and I did, I think we rapped and stuff at his house, and we recorded our first song, and it sounded really good. And, like, to me, honestly, that was, like, my motivation because I was like, I'm pretty good. We started doing shows at the school, and we had a really good buzz. So I think that was, like, the big motivation for me.
Oh, that's awesome, though. I mean, and don't feel bad when you say, I'm pretty good. That's the problem. People don't appreciate themselves enough. They always are looking for it outward. And people, stop it, okay? Just stop. I'm telling you. You got to appreciate yourself. You got to have that self-love. And you got to know, have that confidence to move forward. Because if you don't have confidence in you, then how do you expect someone else to have it? Or want to buy your records or want to have you come out and rap or perform. So, I think it's awesome. So congratulations to you. So where did that take you from there? So who noticed you once you started doing that with him?
Well, we got noticed, like, everybody in the school knew I rapped and I also sing, and everybody knew all of us, and we did like shows outside of school too. We tried to hit up like the local radio stations. I think we even went to like 97.9 out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were trying to get on so bad. But I got a lot of recognition, like basically from school and friends and people outside of school, and then colleges were listening to us too. So it became a pretty big deal.
That's awesome. So how did you come up with the name Ms. Blue? So is that like your favorite color?
Well, I actually was Slim Blue for like my whole from 15 all the way to like 20 something, and then I changed it to Miss Blue. I still like that is definitely my favorite color, and I just was like, you know what I'm doing now, so I need to do put the misses behind it and show some attitude. So that's
Look, that's Miss Blue to you, boo. Okay. Okay.
right.
You know, I can relate to that one too because my favorite color was lavender, so they were calling me Lavender in school.
Oh, wow. That's different.
I know it's kind of weird, but it's like okay, I'll take that, whatever. But I love lavenders, purples, but of course we change. I still like it, but you know, I love earth tones, browns, oranges, golds. You know, that stuff that looks good with our skin.
I was burnt orange is really in now. Too.
Yeah, yeah, I love it.
Mhm.
So tell me, how does it feel? Like, what is the, or has, should I say, has being nominated as, you know, an Indie Award nominee, you know, what is that, what are people saying to you about that?
This event really means a lot to me. I've had my family from Louisiana to up like even further, North Carolina. Everyone has gotten involved and they're supporting so much. I have so many friends and they're just like, I hope you know you're doing good, and they try to keep me motivated and trying to stay positive. And I mean, I don't think I have the words to really explain. I'm just really, I feel honored to tell you the truth. I feel appreciated, and I just feel like a whole different person. Like, wow, you know, a nominee, that's awesome.
Well, you know what? You know, you get credit where credit's due. You know, you're talented. You have skills on the mic. You know, not everybody has those skills. And two, we do need more females. I had the pleasure of interviewing the system, which I love the system. When I saw them in that documentary, I was like, okay, I've got to meet those women. And they come together and call themselves the system, but each one are their own female MCs. And they're all very strong and powerful. So, of course, when I saw them, I instantly thought about you, C. Carter, and Nina,
Yeah.
Nina Cassie, because you guys are really, really strong, and we don't have enough. And just FYI, so you know, coming up in 2 weeks on Fridays is Female Friday Takeover. So it's nothing but females going to be playing on the station on Fridays, okay? Y'all taking it over.
Hype.
What'd you say?
I said, that's hype.
Well, you know, that was one of the things that I've noticed, and I'm going to ask you that too, that in interviewing other female MCs and listening even to the documentary, I've got to send you I'm going to actually post the link to that trailer on my website, and I'll tweet it out, but it's called I'm a Hustle Girl. And what that means, a hustle girl is just somebody that's on their grind trying to do their thing, you know, like all of us are trying to do. But what I heard in there was how hard it was for the female MC. Like if you're a female R&B artist, pop, you know, that's cool, that's typical. But for the female rapper, one of the things that one of the ladies, I think Brandy Kane had brought up in the system, she said, you know, women, some women, not all, some of them don't have that sustainability when they're rapping about things. It's usually about how they can ride a certain something or what they can do. So you're not going to have a dude repeating those lyrics, so you're not really going to move into that market. You're just going to stay in the female anthem, and you know where we are already with that. So what challenges, if any, have you had being a female MC trying to get noticed and things of that sort? And taken seriously.
basically, and I was just about to say, not being taken serious. When I pick up a mic, they thought that I was hosting or I was modeling, and when they see me, they like they had these expressions on their face, and like I didn't know whether or not to feel insulted because I didn't know that rappers look a certain way. I mean, you're a female, so you're sexy, but we need to be taken serious too. And so it's just a lot of that, like not being taken serious or them not knowing where you fit in the genre. Either you're too sexy or you're not sexy enough.
Yeah.
Either you're
And
talking too much like a boy and you need to be sexier. I mean, it's very difficult being a female rapper. I mean, I can give you all my stories. It's definitely
well, you know
breathtaking.
what? I do want you to give us a story. I want you to give me a story of when you were kind of posed with those issues, but then you walked out on stage, picked up that mic, and let them have it. And then they were just like, oh my God, I know that happened to you. I know it did.
Yeah, it did. Actually, I was working with J Dog's artist out here, and his name was Dan Fool. And it was maybe 13 guys. I know. It was 13 guys, and I was the only female, and I had a dress on that night and my stilettos. And I got on stage, and I was in the middle, but I think a lot of people thought that, again, I was like one of the models there. But when the guy gives me the mic, I hadn't even said anything. I could see the crowd just like stop, like, what is she about to do? And I thought it was like 6 or 8 bars, and I passed it on to the next guy, and people, you couldn't even hear the rest of anybody else rapping. Everybody started screaming because they thought that I was going to model. And when I got off the stage, I had like 5 guys bombard me and say, excuse me, miss, I'm so sorry, but you really go hard. I thought you were modeling. And I said, of course you did. But I said, thank you. That's my story.
Oh my God. And that's unfortunate too, because every time it reminds me, I had the pleasure of meeting Tina Clark. And if y'all don't know who Tina Clark is, I suggest you look her up. And she now owns her own music company and has for a while. It's called D as in David, DMI Music. And Tina was one of the first female drummers to try and really come out. But then she realized, she said, I realized I hit the glass ceiling because every time, yeah, I'd be drumming my butt off and even beating some of the guys, but what they would say, oh, yeah, you're pretty good for a girl.
Exactly.
It's like what, I mean, and that irritates me, and men out there, I know you're going to watch this, so let me get you, let me clue you to something, all right? Let me clue you out to something. I can see you saying that if we're playing football and we get you. Because we shouldn't be able to do that. You a man and me woman, so I shouldn't be able to tackle you or overtake you in football. Something that does have to do with gender. Your talent musically has nothing to do with gender. Rapping has nothing to do with gender. Playing instruments have nothing to do with gender. None of that. And when I whoop your ass and pull, it don't have nothing to do with gender either. So, so I'm just saying, stop saying that stuff to us. For a female. Like, thank you for letting me know that you're definitely not the type of guy I want to date.
They're intimidated. I think they're intimidated when they say that.
I think they are too. And I mean, and what are you intimidated for? Because I can hang with you? Maybe because I can spit a few more bars off the top of my head that actually make sense and I'm not filibustering with cuss words?
Exactly. They kind of have to dumb you down because you can step up to them and meet with their standards. So for a girl, you're good. No, I'm just good, period.
And honestly, I think too, you have to look at what the majority of rap music is about. Unfortunately, the majority of it is about disrespecting us. And then I look at the women who are like, hey, that's my son. And I'm like, he just called you a hoe.
Exactly.
I don't get it. But, hey, that's my son. I'm like, what? I don't get that.
That's right.
So let me ask you this. So with that said, because, a lot of it is all about the hoes, the tricks, the bitches, all that stuff. Um, how do you view, like, when you do you even think, like, when you're writing your songs, um, how it's going to come across to both? I say both audiences. It should just be one, but we know it's two because we got women that's going to sing the female songs and they're going to sing the male songs. But then when it comes to the men, they're going to sing the men's songs, but they'll listen. All right, that's female. Okay, whatever. I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. So what do you do with your songs to try and bring those two together?
To try to bring those two together, I usually try to add something for like something sexy for the ladies, and I still kind of be like on like my tomboy, so that the guys can kind of feel where I'm coming from, and then I mix in the club scene. So some of my songs, I can see the guys and the females partying, and I'm including everybody, so I'm not leaving anybody out. Like I know the guys like to drink and stand on the wall and look. So I talk about that in the song, and then I talk about a chick being sexy, what she has on. So I try my best to include everybody, like both sexes, but it is kind of hard because you are a female.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, because honestly, I mean, truth is, we are women, so we have women experiences that we would like to discuss about y'all, okay? But at the same token, and I know that they have their experiences too, but some of the music to me on the men's side, they're not just talking about the one experience. When they talk about it, it transposes to all of us being bitches.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, and I don't like that, but I know I'm confident. I know they're not talking about me. So and honestly, I usually don't listen to those. I really need. I'm old school. Okay, I'm a KRS-One girl. Queen Latifah, way back in the day where people was talking about Chuck D, back in the day when you were talking about something that had some substance. And that's when I had the pleasure of interviewing C. Carter. She was saying the same thing. And, and that's what I look for. That's really, really what I look for. And listening to you, I felt that I'm like, this girl is it. I reached out to you last year. I was like, she got it. She got it. So what do you have coming up? Do you have any other music being released? Because we're going to talk about your two songs that I have been playing in rotation in a minute. But do you have anything coming out now?
Yes, I'm actually working on some pop music, and a rock band is actually going to be collabing with me.
Ooh,
so we have to get in the studio real soon. Yes, I mean, I went to a few of their shows, and they're really good. So shout out to the Dirty Seeds. They're doing their thing. They did some stuff with MTV too, so that should be really hot. And I'm getting ready to open up for Little Kiki, April the 11th out here in Houston. And so shout out to the whole DJ Massive movement and S80 and No Days Off. So those are the events. And I didn't even mention to you, I'm getting ready to relocate to Atlanta.
Atlanta?
Can you believe it?
Well, then you're going to be out there with our A&R, Angela Artist, because that's where Angela Artist is. She is in the ATL. I need y'all to come here.
Well,
y'all come to LA. What'd you say?
You know what? I said I would love to come to LA. I really would.
So, okay, so you move into Atlanta. So what's taking you to Atlanta?
I need a change of scenery. I need to I get out there and grind and hustle in a different light, because everyone sees me here and they've seen me doing it, and they do support. But I think it's time to kind of just change it up and get myself in another market. And I am working with some people in Atlanta that's telling me, hey, you need to come. It's a lot more opportunity. And, so I just want to be closer to those people and really just grind it out in a different atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. And, I'm going to turn you on to some of my new buddies and partners in crime, should I say. And that is, we call them the Office Boys. And they're on a couple of stations in Florida, as well as I think it's North Carolina, and then a couple of other online stations as well. So definitely going to hook you two together and get your stuff rotated over there. But they also are artists themselves and always in the studio. So, you know, I love connecting people. So that's where I get my little jollies from. So okay. So everybody's in Atlanta. I guess I'm gonna have to come. Damn.
At least for a weekend.
All right. Well, when you get set up, I'm coming. Y'all heard it. I'm gonna crash on her couch. There you go.
Okay. Hey.
We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna see what Hot Atlanta is all about.
You know, I just flew in last weekend, Khymberlee.
Did you?
Yes, it was pretty nice.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna take your word for it. I've been to Georgia before, but unfortunately I didn't get to Atlanta. I was stuck in the color purple, so I was like, okay, never mind. It was my ex-husband years ago, and we went through Augusta, and then we just kept driving to the point where when we finally went through all the weeds and the trees, then it was no more paved roads, it was dirt. So and then there was a little ghost town, then there was a little, then I saw Piggly Wiggly. I cracked up because I could not believe it. Store named Piggly Wiggly. I was dying. Like, they was all mad at me. Like, oh, you from Holland? I'm like, no, it's just funny. Who calls the store Piggly Wiggly? I'm like, who is It's just funny. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to talk about your Piggly Wiggly. So now we're going to talk about the two songs that's in rotation and how those came about. Because I was listening to you be throwing it down in that song, girl. Let's talk about Do It first. I was like, dang, she letting them have it.
Hey, let's talk about Do It. Okay, well, the concept comes from that I'm a guy and I can do this, and she's a girl and she can't do it. So basically, I generated a concept and a story and ran with it, and I just wanted to show the girls that you can do whatever you want to do and not be judged. And whatever the guys are doing, unfortunately, I feel like the women can do it too. In the substance as make your money, and however you make your money is your business. But whatever you have to do to take care of your family, don't be ashamed of it and just do it. No strings attached to it. And so that was kind of like my alter ego thing going on.
That alter ego, huh? Okay, I'm gonna get back to that. Now I ain't gonna let that slip. So, all right. So, what about Payback?
Payback was produced by Beat King, and basically, I just wanted to do that typical love story, but my love stories are not always ending with happy things. And in this story, unfortunately, the guy was cheating on her. She rode around the hood and she caught him, and so she went back to the house and she beat herself. She beat herself up to make it look like her boyfriend did it. And so when she's sitting on the couch and he comes in and he's scared, he's like, "Oh my God, baby, what happened?" And she's like, "I got hurt." And the cops knock on the door. But when the cops knock on the door, the guy goes to the door and he's being arrested. And he's like, "Well, what did I do? I didn't beat her." And the whole demeanor is payback. So that's where I got this from.
Damn, okay. You had me in tune, girl. I thought I was getting ready to watch a Lifetime movie.
Everybody has been asking for the past few years now when I was going to make a video for that song.
Yeah. that would be a good one. Can take some clips from remember A Thin Line Between Love and Hate?
Yes, it's a good one. And the scene with Angela Bassett, Waiting to Excel, when the cop comes and he goes, in your yard, and she's like, "Yeah, I know."
Right?
Basically, I did that.
Oh my God, that is so great. Now, I was just thinking, I'm rewinding in my head now. You have to excuse me, I get brain dumps, so it's just like. So going back to the rock band, I'm excited about that because one of the things, if you listen, because everybody works, so I know everybody can't tune in all the time when I'm on air, but I always talk about collaborations and things, and people don't understand. I'm like, don't turn your nose up just because it's not what you're used to listening to. I'm like, open. I'm like, if you're an artist, be open. You got to be open. You never know. And I always say, I'm like, rap and rock goes together. Hello. Run DMC showed you that years ago. Walk this way. So I'm excited because, our lineup is changing. So I told you about Fridays being Female Friday takeovers, but Tuesdays are going to be Pop Rock Tuesdays, like the candy. But that's when we're going to have a lot of pop and a lot of rock. So I want to get some of that music.
Oh, yeah. Definitely have it sending to you soon.
So now let's turn to asking you, let's discuss this whole indie thing, because people don't really get what it means to be an indie, because you have a lot of independent artists that do get it, but you have more that don't get it than not. And they look at the glitz and the glam and everything that goes on MTV, all of that stuff, right? But they don't realize that as an independent, you are your record label. The label's got your A&R department, they got your marketing, they got this, you got your photo shoots, they got this whole thing behind you. You got studio time. Yeah, they're giving you all this stuff up front, but we all know that it comes with a cost and it's in the contract, and you're going to pay that back. But in the meantime, until you get a record label behind you, and if you want a record label behind you, because you may not, there are challenges there, and you're responsible for your own, your stuff. So what can you tell, or what has been your experience that you can share with the audience about, your experiences being an indie and being financially responsible for your future?
You're saying it so perfectly, Kim. It's just what you said, meaning we don't have the big financial backing. We don't have the tour money. Some of us just work 9 to 5, and some of us I've seen are working 3 jobs just to support their family and their music hustle. So financially, you have to become more responsible, and you have to budget really well. You have to learn how to shop. And if you get in really good with some of these shops, ladies, they will actually send you clothes. The resources are there. You just have to use them. But it's definitely harder being an indie because you're responsible for everything. So if it doesn't go right, it's your fault.
Right.
You can't blame it on anyone. And sometimes money will hold you back. So that's why you network with other people. And if y'all can formulate some type of group or street team, then y'all can start splitting everything in half. And that's what I have learned to do, to try to get some of the cost, cut some of those costs. But it's definitely challenging being an indie artist, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're saying that too, because people need to realize that you are, number one, you're solely responsible for your destiny. But again, going back to what I was talking about before, being good collaborations, not in just music, but in business. Because, it is a lot of money. And, these people spend millions of dollars on these artists. And when something doesn't go right, they just write it off. Okay, whatever. But when something doesn't go right for us, it's like, okay, well, that was my life savings, or that was the last of my 401k that I just cashed out to do that, and then there's nothing else. So it's kind of like you got to be sure and confident in yourself, because it's just like, being a rapper, being an artist of any kind, like even me as a dancer, you step out on that stage, if you show any signs of insecurity, it's going to come across, and that's the energy that you're going to project to your audience no matter what. So when you stand in confidence, then you have no choice but to command that back, and that has a lot to do with how far you get, in what you're trying to build, because you're trying to get. This is why I hate when I meet a lot of, oh my gosh, I shouldn't even say this. I'll tell you offline, but I will tell you this. Yesterday, it wasn't me, but the people I mentioned before, they were going to be interviewing this certain female artist that everybody knows. And she had a stank attitude. Well, because they were having a few technical difficulties. They were trying to get the recording going. But if I had known it was going to be, I could have called 2 people by now. For real? Ooh. I told them they're like, oh, you were asleep. We wanted you to be on there. I was like, I'm glad I wasn't. I would have checked her. I'm like, I don't give a hootie and a blowfish who you are. You do not treat people. You do not treat people like that. And I'm saying all this to say that your fan base is your bread and butter, and you need to cultivate them. You need to respect them. You need to make sure you give love to them, because that love that they're giving you is what sells records, right? And selling records is what, yeah, and selling records is what's gonna make and break, somebody's career. But if you ask Steak, I don't care if you Beyonce, I'd be like, psh, deuces. And I love me some Beyonce.
That's true.
And I'm so glad that everyone that I've met or talked to that's met her, I've not had the pleasure of meeting her yet, but I hear nothing but good things about her attitude, and I'm just so grateful for that, because I would hate to throw away my
Okay. She's a really nice chick. Seriously, she is.
Yeah, and see, and that's what I'm saying. This is what I always say, and you can tell me if you agree. Money and alcohol usually has the same result. If you have too much of either, it's always going to bring out who you really are. So if you're really an ass, the alcohol is going to make you act more of an ass, and the money's going to make you be more of an ass. So, that's the way I feel about it. So if you're just a really down-home, genuine, nice person anyway, just because you have money and fame should not change that at all. So
I totally agree.
yeah, so anyway, we know that y'all see it right here in Sound Booth that Ms. Blue is so sweet. And when I talked to you last year, I was like, oh my gosh, she's the sweetest thing. Because we were trying to get that tour together. And, I always say that I was so disappointed that it wasn't going to happen. Unfortunately, all I can say is be careful who you guys decide to do business with, and check them out, because not everybody is who they say they are. But it's okay. There's a reason for everything, and I will fill you in more after this interview, but just know, people, that some big things are getting ready to happen with Lipstick Radio and helping the indies, and I'm just so excited. So one monkey don't stop no show. We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it pushing. So, Miss Blue, tell me, what else is in store for Miss Blue? Like, what is it that, besides, I know you want to make it, in this business, but, like, what's driving you to do that? Like, what's the passion behind it?
The passion behind it, you always hear people say their family, but it's just, I would like stability for my family, and I want to see them see my dream come true, because I've been doing it for so long, and like, I really love doing my music and performing and entertaining, and every year I get more and more passionate about it. So it's definitely like from family and just loving this craft. I mean, I just really love it. So
that's awesome. Well, and that's what I tell people, please pursue your passions. Don't give it up. Because just like you were mentioning a minute ago, we have a lot of artists that are working 2 and 3 jobs. And, and sometimes you just say, you know what, I got to keep a roof over my head. I got to feed my kids. I got to do all this stuff. Forget my career, whatever. I just got to work. And that breaks my heart, because I don't think we were supposed to be put here on this earth just to work. I think we should work to live, but we shouldn't live to work. It's a difference. So I know that even for me, this is a beautiful struggle. I mean, I just refuse to go back into corporate. I refuse to go. Do I miss the corporate paycheck? Oh, yeah. I miss it. I miss that. But, there's no price that you can put on happiness and peace. And I'm very peaceful now where I am, because before, having the money in your bank account, but I couldn't go do what I wanted to do because I got to get up early, I got to be at that job, I got to work overtime on the weekend, oh my God, I got to, I don't, no. So what is that like for you? Because I'm sure you experienced some of that too.
Yes, I do. Like, I do document control and do a lot of oil and gas. So, it's a typical 9 to 5 or 7 to 3s even. And then after I get off work, I have my job don't stop. I have 2 sons, so I'm with them. I do the mom thing, and we watch TV, and they're very active. So I can't just go to sleep. They're like, I want to talk and tell you about my day. So after that, I might get I might get a call, and someone might say, I need you in the studio, Blue, or come. We have a group meeting, and I'm like, but I'm tired, y'all, and I have to go. So I mean, you work after you work. So what you're saying is definitely true.
Yeah, I know how the mommy thing is. Trust me, I raised three alone, alone. So when you were talking about the 3 jobs, and I had 18 units in college, and I was trying to, girl, and no child support whatsoever. So trust me and believe that I understand and I get it, and I applaud you for it. And for you guys who don't get it out there, I'll tell you. So what's next for Miss Blue right now? I know you got the rock band thing, that collaboration coming up. You're moving to Atlanta. Any new music out now, since I only have those 2 songs? Because I know you got a catalog. I know you're holding back.
Yes, I actually have a song called Love It. I remixed August Alsina's Love It with my boy Mr. Make 'Em Sweat. So I have to send that to you. It's nice. And
Okay.
after that, hopefully, I plan on this year releasing, well, publishing my book that I wrote. And
Oh.
hopefully I'll get.
Oh. Okay. 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 Back up. Rewind. Okay. You wrote a book, and what is it about?
It's called Rap Revelation.
It's
This
called
book
what?
is basically about, it's called Rap Revelation. It's deep. And it's basically about my life as what drew me to doing my music, the things that I went through growing up that like not even my closest friend knew that I was going through, or some of the depressions of being a female, developing and your mind is everywhere and the boys are making you go crazy. And I just talk about having songs being stolen from me, and guys promising me this and it's not going through, failed relationships and maybe what's causing it. I'm talking about everything in this book, and I'm hoping more females come out and tell that story that they're not telling. It's not a jump off book at all. It's really, they're really going to be surprised at what a woman really goes through type book.
Wow. That's,
So
oh my
be on the
gosh.
lookout for
I got
that.
chills right now. I'm excited. I'm excited to get that. We got to have you back on, really, really talking about that,
Oh
because
yeah.
I got to come get my copy so I can read it, and we can have a nice long interview about what I read in here. But I feel you. I tell you, everybody has been saying, someone just told me the other day, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. I'm like, and I know I do, but one day, I got my hands full right now. And I don't think I would write it. I'd probably get Angie to do it, because Angela,
Trust me,
say that again. What'd
oh,
you
I
say?
didn't. I didn't say anything.
Oh, so anyway, that's what I can't wait to. So when is the release for it?
I do not have a release for it just yet. I'm hoping though maybe fall of 2014, because that gives me time, because we have to shoot trailers for it, commercials, and to get the promo going. I didn't want to just drop the book and then people are like, well, I didn't even know she had written a book. I actually want to do some real good promo clips for it before I publish it and release it. So hopefully in the fall of this year.
Okay, well, I will be looking for that. I'll be bugging you now, for real. That's going to be awesome. I'm excited about that. So anyway, is there anything else that, we got so many sides to Miss Blue here. She's multi-talented, beautiful. She models. She's a mom. She's a writer. Now she's going to be an author. What else is it to Miss Blue that we need to know?
I act.
You act
I'm an actress as well. I've done private. I know it's crazy. I've done private acting lessons. I was accepted for the School of Performing Arts in Amden, New York, in high school, but I had some track scholarships, and that's what I thought I wanted to do. So I did not take the acting scholarship. Shame on me. But I love to act though, and hopefully, again, moving to Atlanta, I'm working with Terry Miles. He's No Limit A&R film director, so hopefully I can get some acting on and showcase that.
Oh my gosh, girl. Okay, so I'm just waiting to see you on the big screen. I just already know that's coming, and and I can't wait. I just want you to promise me that, when you get your Grammy, when you get nominated for some Globe Award or Oscar, that, you invite me to the party. I just want to go to the party.
Of course I will.
Oh my God, Miss Blue. Okay, so in closing here, what one piece, say that again?
I said I know you would tweet me if not. Miss Blue, no, you're not acting.
Look, I'll blast somebody. No, I honestly don't like blasting, but when certain people wink, try to call me out, I'm gonna get you. That's why some people get disqualified. So we just gonna leave it at that. But in closing, what one piece of advice could you give to, well, I'm going to ask you for two. One that you can give to an indie artist, period, male or female, and then another piece that you can give to a female rap artist.
Okay. For indie artists, I would like to say the advice I can give you is to promote yourself continuously and be so consistent that you don't have a 5 or 6 month gap and somebody else is now being looked at and they're like, okay, you're having to get your buzz back. You have to stay consistent as an indie artist. So I hope that you all take me serious when I say that, because people will forget you or you'll have to work that buzz back up. So always stay on your grind. Keep them interested. Now for my females, please stay true to yourself. And do not do anything that you don't want to do. Meaning that if you do something that you have done and it may not be right, be able to live with the fact that you've done that. I know that you did that for a reason or whatever goal you're trying to get to, but that's a part of being true to yourself. Because a lot of the female rappers, unfortunately, they're not being true to themselves. They're doing what someone else wants them to do. If you're comfortable doing it, then that's fine. But don't conform yourself to something that someone else views of you. Be true to yourself, because in the end, it's so rewarding. Even if it's a long way there, you'll get to your destination. I promise you. That's for all my females.
Well, that couldn't be any more truer and more said than, oh my goodness. That is so true. It's always being true to yourself first, because you're the one you got to sleep with. You're the one you got to look at yourself in the mirror. And, there's no guarantees in anything. So I can tell you from personal experience back in the day when I was with the group and with Warner Brothers, and I was the one that didn't want to sign the contract because it was boo-boo. It's like, I'm not signing that. I'm like, I need to look at this. Oh, you the smart one. You the smart one. So then we got called back to meeting, and I was like, okay, well, I had it looked over. Here you go. Let's, everything that has a red line through it, which the majority of the stuff had a red line through it. It's like, no, I'm not paying for you to have a penthouse all the time. No, I'm not paying for you to ride limos all the time. No, I'm not paying you for first class and all your phone calls. How do I know those phone calls are for me? Because back in the day, it wasn't. We didn't have the cell phones, so it was like literally long distance. And I'm like, how do I know all those calls are for us? So I'm like, we got to come up with a better solution here. I'm like, just because you travel for me, then if it's for me, then we as a group should be with you. So why would you have a penthouse? You know, it was crazy. It was just stupid crazy. And so when they called us in, I thought he called the whole group, but he only called two of us because what they were trying to do at the time was create another In Vogue to compete with In Vogue. So it was four of us, you know, trying to do the In Vogue thing. But I thought he called all four of us in. But when I got there, it was only me and my friend Keisha. And I handed him that, and I'm just talking business. I'm like, yeah, da-da-da-da-da. And he just had this look on his face, and it was just like, I just had this feeling. And so all of a sudden, he just threw it to the side. He goes, well, why? You haven't done nothing for me yet. Why should I help you? Now, keep in mind, we have already been in the studio. We've already spent a lot of time on the project. And all of a sudden, he just did that. And he's like, okay, well, if you want me to honor that stuff, then, you know, you're going to have to sleep with me right now, both of you. I was like, let me check my skin real quick. I swear I didn't look like Madonna. I don't do that. So, yeah, when I tell you I have seen it all, I will hope, probably not all, some stuff I don't want to see that I've heard about, but I've been through that casting couch and thing, and even in choreography, and oh yeah, I want to use you to do the next McDonald's commercial, and then, you know, and they're legit people. They were really the producers of these things, but their little power trips and thinking that their dumbstick was gonna, you know, that I was naive. Not one person that I've crossed paths with in the 30-something years I've been in this business can ever say that I slept with them, that I did anything to them. Never. That was never a groupie. That was not my thing. I respect and love myself way too much for that. And you're no different than me. You just got a deal. We all have talent. It's like you have a deal, I don't. That's the only difference. So that doesn't make me say, okay, whatever you want. Okay. No. No. So what you said was very, very, very much on point, because women, you have to love and respect yourself. There was women standing behind me when Casey, y'all know Casey and JoJo. Yeah, Casey, I'm putting you out there. He was trying to take me to his hotel. He's like, oh, come on, baby, because I did a video with him, and I was his partner, and he just kept grabbing my ass. I kept pulling up his hand. He kept grabbing my ass and pulling up his hand. It was funny. But, no, but you know, and I was just like, I grabbed his little face. I was like, baby, let me tell you something. I thought it was so nice working with you. I love your music, but I've never been a groupie, and I won't start now. But see all the women behind me screaming? You'll find one. Good luck. And I walked off, and he was just like, oh my God. So what you said, Miss Blue, was so on point. Women, be true to yourself. Love yourself implicitly. And, you know, and everybody knows how my personality is. And I give it to you straight, no chaser. If I was attracted to you, I'd probably do you anyway, just because I want to. But it wouldn't be like right off the bat. It'd be on my terms, when I want, how I want, or whatever. But you dangling a carrot, I'm not that type of chick. So that don't work for me. I'm too strong for that. That's going to turn me off and look at you crazy. Yeah. Like, and I know you've had experiences like that, Miss Thing, because I'm sure it's going to be all up in your book.
Oh, yeah. The names have been changed. No animals were hurt in the process of the making of this book.
Well, see, you know, hey, free speech is the internet. I put y'all on blast now. Except for the one chick from yesterday. I'll tell you when we get off of this who she was. You're going to be like, oh, my God. But, huh?
I said, yeah, you'll have to tell me that.
I'll tell you. You're going to be shocked. And my thing is this. You ain't even that relevant anymore. So you would want as much attention as you possibly can. So why would you treat your fans like that? Because not only were your fans going to hear that interview, but you know, the people obviously that interviewing you, they're obviously fans because they wanted to interview you. So why would you treat people like that? So I'm just saying. So when y'all make it indies, remember where you came from.
Oh yeah. Most
All
definitely.
right. So Miss Thing, she is so gorgeous, so intelligent, so well spoken. I just love her to death. And you know, when she first sent me her thing, what was it, Do It? That was the first one she sent me. I was just like, I like her. I think I sent your music to 2 other people, and then I called in my godson because he's been in rotation too. He goes by Bad Guy Fly, and he instantly was like, because I told him when I was trying to put the tour together, I'm like, that's the female I'm bringing. That's the female I want to take. I like Miss off the chain. She telling them how it is, but to your voice, I know I'm supposed to be ending this, Ben. We got 5 minutes, but your voice, I really, really like your voice because voice has a lot to do with it. Because C. Carter and I think Brandy Kane was talking about that too. You know, some women's voices are kind of mousy, you know, that nagging, irritating thing. But like some of my favorite voices are voices like yours, and like MC Light. Ugh, love MC Light. You know,
MC Light.
MC Light, Queen Latifah. Oh my God, when she would lay it down, she let you know. I love me some Queen Latifah. I still love Queen Latifah. She's one of the most brilliant, talented, multifaceted business women I've ever seen in my life. She's amazing. I so applaud her. But you know, when you have people like that, Yo-Yo, oh my gosh, still a big Yo-Yo fan. So see, I can put you in that range because you got that voice that, you know, it's not that thing. It's like, look, it's firm, it's direct, it gets your attention. But I'm a female. I'm not trying to come off like no dude. I'm sexy, but look, you gonna listen to me. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Have you gotten any other compliments on your voice like that?
Yes, I get like I always say I should have been a news broadcaster. I get some crazy stuff, but definitely when it comes to the rapping, I always get strong flow delivery, and they're like, I really like your voice and the way that you know, craft your sentences and pronunciate. It's just really strong, and I think it's like one of those dependent voices, like you say, listen to me. I'm still gonna be sexy, but I'm saying something. I need you to take me serious. So. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it a lot, but it's much appreciated though.
Well, absolutely. Well, you just hold tight because we got some female stuff happening on this side, and if I can, I won't say if, when it comes together, yes, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised and a part of it. So we'll let y'all know about that. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Lipstick Radio Sound Booth. I so appreciate you. And, you know, if you didn't get a chance to see this live, of course you're watching it on our YouTube channel or our Google Plus channel. And also, maybe your friend shared the link. And if you are watching live, definitely share the link. You want to hear what Ms. Blue has to say. So in the meantime, between time, you know where you can catch me. I'm on WGTS Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. PST time. So catch me there. Go to my website, lipstick-radio.com. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.